Greetings, students. Professor Piggy here, and you are not going to believe what I just found. On a deep dive through the ancient archives of data, I found this. The one, the only, legendary Red Book of Security. They say it holds the key to, well, everything.
I mean, seriously, the legends say this book contains the foundational secrets to protect it all. From my top secret cookie recipes to, entire global networks. The power in here is just, wow.
So, I think you know what this means. It's time to plug in. Let's see what secrets this thing is hiding.
Okay, let's open it up. Chapter 1, The Foundation of Security. Huh, it looks like the very first secret, the code that holds up everything else in cybersecurity, is something called the CIA Triad.
The CIA Triad. Okay, so this is basically our map for this whole quest. It's a model with three main goals: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. To become masters of security, we have to master these three pillars. Let the trials begin.
All right, first up, our first pillar, confidentiality. This is all about the art of secrecy, right? Making sure that private information stays exactly that, private. It's all about controlling who gets to see your data and, more importantly, who doesn't.
Let me put it this way. Imagine I've got the world's best, most delicious cookie recipe written right here on this piece of paper. My #1 goal is to keep it away from the big bad wolf. Why? Because he is not authorized. That right there is confidentiality in a nutshell, protecting secrets from anyone who shouldn't be seeing them.
So, the textbook definition is that confidentiality prevents the unauthorized disclosure of information. Simple as that. Whether we're talking about my cookie recipe or your bank account details, the goal is the same: keep the wolves out. But how do we actually do that?
While the Red Book says we have two main tools in our toolbox. First, there's encryption. That's like writing my recipe in a secret code that only I can understand. And second, we have access controls. This is kind of like putting a bouncer at the door who checks the guest list.
Now, let's zoom in on how that bouncer, our access control system, actually thinks. It's always a three-step dance. Step 1, identification. You walk up and claim who you are. That's your username. Step 2, authentication. You have to prove it. That's your password. And finally, Step 3, authorization. The system checks the list and decides, yep, you're allowed in. See? You say who you are, you prove it, and then you get permission. Okay, pillar 2. We've kept our secrets safe, but what if somebody gets in and changes it without us knowing? That, my friends, is where integrity comes into play. Integrity is all about making sure our data is trustworthy and hasn't been messed with. You know when you get a pizza delivered? It has that little sticker holding the box shut? That's a tamper-evident seal. If that seal is broken, you know someone might have snuck a piece of pepperoni. You've lost pizza integrity. It's the exact same idea for our digital stuff. So, officially, integrity is what ensures our data hasn't been modified or corrupted. We need some sort of guarantee that the file we're looking at is the exact same file that was originally saved. And to do that, we need a digital version of that pizza seal.
And here it is. Our digital seal is a process called hashing. A hash is basically a unique digital fingerprint for a file. Check this out. The original message says the price is $19.99, and that creates the hash 123. But if some sneaky villain changes just one little number to $99.99, boom, the hash becomes something completely different, 456. If the hashes don't match, you know for a fact that your data has been tampered with. Integrity is broken.
Okay, so our data is secret, and it's trustworthy. Awesome. But what good is any of that if we can't get to it when we need it? This brings us to the final and super important pillar, availability. Our systems have to be up and running for authorized users whenever they need to get in. So for my legendary cookie business, I can't just rely on one server. What happens if a hard drive fails? My whole online store is down. The solution is something called redundancy. By using a system called RAID, which is really just a bunch of disks working together, if one fails, another one just takes over, instantly. The cookie shop stays open for business.
So, to put it simply, availability is what makes sure that you can access your stuff when you need to access it. It's all about fighting back against anything that might slam the digital door in your face. System crashes, power outages, you name it.
And hey, when my cookie business goes viral, I'm going to need to handle way more website traffic. I could use Scalability, where I have to manually go in and add more servers as we grow, but a much cooler way to do it is with Elasticity.
With Elasticity, the system automatically adds more power when things get busy and then scales back down when it's quiet. It literally stretches and shrinks on demand, just like a rubber band, so much more efficient.
So there we have it. Our data is secret, it's trustworthy, and it's always there when we need it. We've mastered the 3 pillars. But before we close the Red Book, it has one last, kind of sobering lesson for us. All this amazing, powerful security, it comes at a price.
Take a look at this number, 60%. What on earth could that mean? Well, students, that is, on average, how much bigger a piece of data gets when we encrypt it to make it confidential.
And this analogy is just perfect. Sending unencrypted data, what we call plain text, is like carrying a feather-light letter. It's easy. But encrypting that letter is like locking it inside a giant, heavy steel safe. Yeah, it's super secure, but it's also way bigger, takes up more storage, and needs a lot more horsepower to move around and open up.
And this leads us to the big-time dilemma that keeps CEOs and security pros up at night. They always have to ask, how much performance, how much speed, and how much money are we willing to give up to be more secure? It's this constant, really difficult balancing act between being perfectly safe and being fast and efficient.
Okay, you have absorbed the fundamental knowledge of the Red Book. You get the pillars, and you get the trade-offs. Now, for your own personal quest, especially for those of you studying for the Security Plus exam, I want to give you the book's ultimate exam tip. Listen close.
So here it is, the secret weapon. When you get one of those long, complicated scenario questions on a test, don't panic. Just stop, take a breath, and ask yourself this one simple question. What is the core problem here? Is it about keeping a secret safe? That's a confidentiality problem. Is it about data being changed or messed with? That's an integrity problem. Or is it about not being able to access a system? Well, that's an availability problem. If you can just frame the question that way, the right answer will practically jump off the page.
We have unlocked the first great secret of the Red Book today, but trust me, this is only the beginning. Now that you understand the pillars, start looking for them everywhere. When you log into an app, when you get a software update, just ask yourself, how are they protecting my C, my I, and my A? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next journey into the Red Book of Security. Class dismissed.